how can we work with filters in Power BI? Well, let's first unselect any visual. So let's click basically nowhere in the report, and let's make sure that in the view ribbon here, we have this filters option selected. So if you have this view, make sure to go there and to enable this filters column here. In this filters column, you have two options if you didn't select any visual. You have the filters on this page option and the filters on all page option. A filters on this page simply means if you add a filter, it will be applied to the current page. Filters on all pages will be applied to the entire report. We'll explore both options, of course, in this lecture. If you select any visual, so really any visual, a third filter option is added, and this is the filters on this visual option, which depends on the fields used in this visual. Let's maybe get started with the report level filter, because if you remember back our overview page here and our line chart, so this one, you remember that we specified the years for the x-axis. This wasn't a filter, it's just the way our x-axis is displayed. Let's first undo this. So let's go to the x-axis option here, and let's now say the start should be at 1950 and it should end in 2100, right? First thing, now we have the entire date range back. Now, I want to create a filter, and I want to get started with a report level filter. So as I said, a filter that applies to all visuals on all pages in our report. For this, as I said, it's important to not select any visual here. And now we take the year field and drag it, not into the values, but into the filters on all pages area right here. Now the filtering menu is opening and gives us plenty of options. The first thing is the filter type. The default here is advanced filtering. You also have basic filtering as an option, which allows you to select, well, individual years. We don't want that here. I want to, well, have a range of years available in our report. So we go back to the advanced filtering. And here, I want to say that we only want to show items, so data in the end, when the value of our year field is maybe greater than, let's say, or maybe not greater than, but greater than or equal to 1980. And then we can add an additional condition, so and or, so we can define if both conditions or any of these conditions should be true. I want to make sure that both conditions are met, so I want to say that our year should be greater than or equal to 1980, and at the same time it should be less than or equal to 2030. So in the end, I would like to have a range of 50 years in our entire report, which is available for the population data. So let's apply this filter here. And now we don't have any more data left. No, that's of course wrong. We just have to select our slicer here. And now the data is back. But now, very important, as you can see it right here, only for the range that we defined in our filter. So 1980 up to 2030. In the tree map and all our other visuals, this is the same thing. So in all these visuals, we only have the data for this specific period. And for that, I actually want to enhance it a bit because I don't think it looks good. So let's say you want to have 100 years. So yeah, I think now this looks a lot better. So that's the report level filter. But we also have this page level filter. Let me show you this as a next step. So we go to the tree maps and tables page right here. And you know that Oceania, if we select it right here, and of course all our years are selected, you know this from the other page. And let's now say that here, Oceania, we maybe want to exclude Oceania from this page because it's a rather small region. Of course, you have Australia, but just an example, you might say I would like to show my data without this part of the world just on this page. Well, then what you do is you unselect all your visuals. Then you can, of course, see your report level filter on here because, as I said, it's filtered on the entire report. But here you also have this page level option. Then you simply go to your region name, drag it right here into the filters area. And now we use the basic filtering, so not the advanced option here, this one. And now we simply say we only want to filter for Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, and South America. Then, this is a little bug, if you click and unclick Oceania again, then, now it's working, then Oceania is gone. So as you saw, if this doesn't work, make sure to double click Oceania because then it should be updated and not displayed anymore. Important though, if I go back to the overview page, you can still find Oceania right here because we just applied a report level filter. And then we have a last filter type, and this is the filter which applies to a single visual. And for this, I would like to go to our tree map, because if you look at the amount of countries displayed right here, well, I think that's way too many. This doesn't add any value, so let's select this visual. And now, if you scroll up, so we have report level, then we have page level, and here we have the filters on this visual. Then we actually have the option to select any of the 2 fields that we use in our visual here. We could also add additional fields, but I want to stick to the ones that we have in our visual, because this should have an impact onto the way our information is visualized. And here, I want to limit the amount of countries being displayed to the top 10 by the population for our current selection. For this, I go to the arrow here in the country field. Now we use not an advanced filtering or a basic filtering, but the top N filtering. That's the one that we had in the introduction project of this course. And here I want to say that we filter for the top 10 items by what? Well, by the top 10 items by our population. This is our data field. And if we now press apply filter, you can see we only get back our top 10 countries worldwide in this case. Of course, also possible, for example, for Europe in the year, let's say 2006. And here this number is not correct. Yeah, because we did a mistake right here. Don't forget that now we selected all our fields, right? You can see it indicated by the darker color. So we now just unselected 2006. So what we should do right here is we should click right here. Now all fields are selected, but now the slicer is basically unselected. And if we now click on the 2006, yeah, I think then we get a more reasonable population count for the children in Europe in the year 2006. So with that, we had a very close look at slicers, I guess, and we already saw this table visual, this one right here. And in the project, when we worked on the measures, for example, we also used kind of comparable visuals, you could say, which are more tables than actual charts, things like this. This is how I want to continue now, because now we will explore row cards and multi-row cards.